Before sunrise, the cold here becomes a living force, a silent, merciless pressure that seeps into every wall, every crack, every breath. At 71 degrees Celsius, nothing behaves as it should. Engines refuse to start, metal fractures like glass, and the air itself turns white with frozen moisture. This place is not just the coldest inhabited region on Earth. It is an environment so extreme that survival becomes a form of defiance. And yet, for the people who call this village home, this temperature is not an anomaly. It is simply another morning. As you enter Yakutia, you step into a realm where winter dictates every movement. The cold here doesn't simply surround you, it compresses you, squeezes your lungs, steals the feeling from your face within seconds. The villagers navigate this frozen world with a quiet familiarity, moving through landscapes that would paralyze most outsiders. Roads barely exist under layers of drifted snow. Ice fog hides shapes like a permanent veil, and even the shortest walk becomes a test of endurance. In Yakutia, the day begins hours before dawn. Firewood must be prepared while the air is still manageable, if such a word can be used here. Water must be brought inside before it freezes solid. Animals must be fed while their breath forms thick white clouds around them. Life here is a symphony of small, repeated tasks that stand between people and the cold. Every movement has purpose. Every action is rooted in generations of inherited knowledge. At 71 degrees Celsius, physics becomes distorted. Water doesn't freeze, it transforms. Fabrics turn rigid, plastics shatter. Even breathing too deeply becomes dangerous, as cold air can freeze exposed tissue inside the lungs. This level of cold is not passive. It seeks out weakness. It punishes mistakes instantly. Understanding how the world behaves at this temperature is not a curiosity, it is a necessity for survival. The people of this village carry a quiet strength forged through centuries of adaptation. They are hunters, herders, craftsmen, mechanics, each role essential for community survival. Warmth here is not just physical, it is social, cultural, generational. Families gather around wood stoves, sharing stories that bind them to their ancestors. They laugh, they endure, they adapt. Hunting in Yakutia is not an adventure, it is life insurance. Meat is fuel, warmth, survival. Preparing for a day in the wild means preparing for a confrontation with the elements themselves. Hunters wrap themselves in fur, not for comfort, but because it is the only material capable of preserving precious body heat. Every buckle tightened, every rope checked, every tool secured could mean the difference between returning home or not returning at all. The wilderness beyond the village is both breathtaking and unforgiving. Visibility can vanish in seconds as winds whip snow into a white wall. Hunters navigate not by landmarks, which often disappear under frost, but by memory and instinct. Out here, silence is immense. The land feels endless. Testing, endurance, patience, and skill with every step. Yet for these hunters, this frozen world is familiar. A place of danger, yes, but also of deep, ancestral connection. Food preparation in Yakutia follows the same principle as everything else. Adapt to the cold, or be defeated by it. Meat is cut while frozen solid. Fish, preserved by nature's freezer, becomes stroganina thin curls of raw, icy slices eaten with salt. Families gather to share meals that sustain them through endless winter. Every bite is a reminder that survival here is communal. No one faces the cold alone. As night falls, the cold intensifies. Darkness arrives quickly, bringing temperatures that push even the hardiest villagers indoors. Outside, the world becomes still, wrapped in layers of frost and silence. But inside, life continues, with warmth, laughter, and comfort. This contrast, the deadly cold outside, the glowing warmth inside, is the essence of Yakutian winter. Why do they stay? The answer lies in identity. This land shaped their parents, their grandparents, and generations before them. Here, every family has roots deep within the frozen soil. Leaving would mean abandoning not just a home, but a legacy, a culture, a way of life built around endurance and unity. For the people of Yakutia, the cold is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a guardian, and a reminder of who they are. In Yakutia, the cold becomes more than a physical force. It becomes part of the soul. It teaches humility, strength, patience, and respect for nature. The people here grow up knowing that survival is not achieved through struggle alone, but through harmony with the land. The cold has shaped their traditions, their stories, their spirit, and in turn, they have shaped a life within it.